The holding chamber was cold, metallic, and echoing. Rows of alien prisoners, shackled and wary, huddled together, their eyes wide with fear. The humans had captured them during the latest skirmish in the Andromeda sector, and rumors about human interrogation methods had spread faster than light. None of them trusted the beings who now stood silently across the room. Kevlar, a tall insectoid officer with 6-jointed limbs, trembled as he scanned the humans. Their weapons were nowhere in sight, yet their posture screamed authority. Behind him, his comrades whispered, clicking and hissing nervously. Then came the voice, "Take it easy." It was cheerful, casual, almost mocking. A human stepped forward, carrying a tray of small metallic bowls. The smell made Kevlar's mandibles twitch. It was unfamiliar, warm, and oddly inviting. The aliens stiffened. Could this be a trick, a trap? They had been warned that humans were masters of deception, capable of bending morality to the point of cruelty. Some had survived brutal feeding ceremonies designed to break the mind, and their memories of it were still raw. "Do not approach." Kevlar snapped, but his voice cracked. The human laughed softly, tilting the tray so that the contents glimmered under the harsh fluorescent light. "Relax. I promise, nothing bad will happen here. Try it." Another human, smaller and wearier, moved in, extending a bowl toward one of the smaller aliens. Tentacles recoiled. Claws twitched. Every prisoner tensed, as if preparing for a sudden strike. Then, something strange happened. The alien, a thin, pale creature named Rillen, hesitated. His instincts screamed danger. His species had been hunted for centuries, trained to distrust every movement humans made. But hunger had its own voice. He inched forward, tentatively touched the bowl, and smelled it. It was edible. Rilner's eyes widened, and a small, cautious click escaped his mandibles. "What is this?" "Stew, human stew. Lots of nutrients. You need it." The cheerful human spoke calmly, almost warmly. "We'll make it painless." A ripple of whispers ran through the prisoners. "They feed. Without forcing. Impossible. It's a trap." But hunger was universal. Slowly, one by one, the aliens reached for the bowls. The humans did not push. They did not coerce. They simply offered, smiling gently. Then Kevlar noticed something alarming or miraculous. The humans themselves began serving the food carefully, guiding the aliens, but without aggression. Even when claws accidentally knocked over a bowl, the humans simply laughed softly and refilled it. No punishment, no malice. It was kindness. The first bite was cautious. Rillen's eyes narrowed, scanning for hidden devices, poison, or strange effects. Nothing happened. The stew was warm, salty, and oddly comforting. His tentacles trembled not from fear, but from pleasure, relief. A low hum spread through the chamber. Kevlar, still wary, watched a group of his soldiers tentatively eat. And then something even more shocking occurred. One of the bigger Ilianza, muscular brute named Gorate, slowly, then paused. He tilted his head and gave a guttural sound that resembled laughter. "This is good." The humans nodded, encouraging. "Glad you like it. Take it easy. Enjoy it. No one's going to hurt you." The phrase, repeated over and over, began to dissolve the tension. "Take it easy." It sounded almost like a chant, like a mantra. The prisoners, long trained to fear humans, began to relax. The shackles, still present, felt less oppressive somehow. Over the next hour, the feeding continued. Humans explained the dishes, laughed at small mistakes, and even asked the aliens about their species' tastes. The chamber that had once been a prison now felt, oddly, like a gathering. Finally, Kavalar, still cautious but increasingly curious, approached a human carrying the largest tray. Why do you do this?" His voice was harsh but contained a note of vulnerability. The human smiled. "Because we know what it's like to be afraid, to be hungry, to be helpless. You fought us, yes, but we don't see you as enemies now. Not here. Not like this." Kavalar's mandibles clicked a sound that was almost laughter in his species. "And you trust us to eat, to live." "Trust isn't given blindly," the human replied. "It's earned, and we hope it will start here." The room quieted. Even the smallest aliens seemed to absorb every word. They had anticipated interrogation, violence, domination, but instead the humans offered care. It was baffling, unthinkable, and yet profoundly effective. After the feeding, a new routine emerged. Every day, the aliens were brought fresh meals by hand. The initial fear, once suffocating, diminished. They began to speak with the humans, exchanging words and gestures. The smallest gestures, a shared laugh, a smile, a small gift of food, bridged the gap of centuries of conflict. Once the most suspicious and hardest to impress, now found himself laughing at human jokes, sharing stories of his campaigns, and even helping prepare meals for newcomers. He could not have imagined it, yet here he was, a prisoner of war, feeling safe. The humans had achieved the impossible, breaking fear not with force, but with simple, consistent kindness. Every bowl offered, every phrase of "take it easy," was a brick in a bridge spanning two species. And every alien who ate and survived now carried a memory far stronger than fear. Trust. Months later, when the aliens were released back to their home planets, Kavalar spoke on behalf of his people. "We came expecting cruelty. We found care, not weakness, strength in restraint, strength in empathy. Humans, you are formidable, not because of weapons, but because of your hearts." The humans nodded. "Take it easy," they said one last time, "and may your path forward be lighter than your past." Kavalar's last glance at the human who had led the feeding ritual carried a promise that history would remember not only the battles fought, but the mercy shown. A promise that even across the cold vacuum of space, the warmth of a shared meal could rewrite destinies. And in that moment, the alien prisoners understood what humans had always known. Sometimes the greatest weapon is not fire or steel, but the simple act of reaching out a hand and saying, "Take it easy."